Thrissur District Chief of Police, Thrissur Rural. Perhaps you would have heard about her from the newspapers and from the social media and from the interviews on the TV. The first thing which I want to tell to you is she cracked the IPS examination when she was aged 22. I think you can give her a big hand. Now, when she was preparing for his IPS exam, there are a lot many who were saying, don't worry, even if you don't pass in the first time, you can do the second time. She said, such talks really motivated her. She worked so hard so that she was able to crack the exam in the first attempt itself. That's a wonderful and remarkable achievement. As I heard, she led the RD contingency during the last Republic Day. She has served in the district of Trivandrum and in Ernakulam. Now is the chief of Thrissur district in the police section. And now, when there was this COVID pandemic, she was able to, in a very sensitive manner, because with a touch of kindness and with a touch of law and order, she was able to maintain that pandemic, especially in the Trivandrum district. All those things has been said. Now, one thing which she always stressed, don't call me a women IPS officer. The girl students, now I know in the Christ College there are around 60 to 70% of you are women students. It's a challenge before you. You have to break those stereotypes. You can achieve greatness. That is what Mrs. Aishwarya Dongre is there. She has come here to inaugurate a program against the drugs, because today is the anti-drugs day, yesterday was the anti-drugs day. But when I informed that you are here, around 600, 700 students are here, she said, I'm ready to come to you and talk to you a few words about how you can grow up in the future, how you can progress in the future, what goals you should set. Madam, I'm happy to note that last year we had more than around 250 students were placed from our college itself, this being Arts and Science College. That's what their CDAs have got, and now they are here to prepare themselves for the placements which will be coming at the end of year. So, in the name of all of you, I welcome Mrs. Aishwarya Dongre, the IPS, to interact with you. Welcome, madam.
A very good morning to everyone present here, and your principal kind of encouraged me to come and speak before the placement cell. I had come for a small program on drug awareness, and he was very encouraging that I should come before the placement cell students who have come here, and especially the third year. And I assume that you will be graduating in a couple of months' time, and hence you are at a very crucial juncture of your academic life and entering into the so-called employment life. Giving you a little background of what I did, where I came from. I graduated from St. Xavier's College in 2015, St. Xavier's College based in Bombay. I did my BA, double majors in economics and political science, post which I wrote this civil service examination and I cleared it in my first attempt. A lot of people say that to clear this examination, you have to have a godly figure behind you. You have to go to a certain place to study. You have to be a particular type to clear this examination. But trust me, these are all just myths that have been created by society, and it is all breakable. As already stated, we as a younger generation are here to break identities, we are here to break stereotypes, and we are here to make the change that we wish to see. And for a gathering here where you all are sitting here, especially looking for jobs ahead, as part of your placement cell, it is of absolute pleasure to know that 200 of your seniors have already been placed. And I think the previous history that, people from arts background, from humanities background find it difficult to get jobs. People from science backgrounds can only do a particular type of job. But that is not true. Things have changed, society has changed. The way employment, the way jobs have been looked at is a completely different ballgame. I'll give you a very simple example from my own service itself. When I cleared and I joined the service, we were a group of 150 police officers, around 120, 130 odd police officers, and out of these, a large number of these were science graduates and a large number of these were engineering graduates. Many of them came in from a BA background and chose to write the civil service examination. There were many doctors who decided to give the civil service examination. So we are, as a younger generation, we are at a cusp where change and our degree, our qualification does not determine only the job that we wish to have. What determines the job you land yourself in is confidence, is passion, and most importantly, hard work. Whatever you set your heart to, trust me, whatever you set your heart to, you set your mind to, and you want it, it is possible. And that comes with the self-conscience that, the conviction that I want this because I desperately want it. A lot of people, as I said, say that clearing this examination in this first attempt is not possible. Coming from a place like Bombay, you do not know the background of how to prepare for this examination. You may not be able to clear it. You have been, your background is humanities. You may not be able to clear this examination. There have been lots of myths associated with this examination. So I hope you understand that any kind of myth, and trust me, I'm not talking only for the civil service, I'm talking any kind of stereotype, any kind of box that they put for you to be able to get a job has to be broken and can be broken. When I stand here, as already stated, it is very important for us to go beyond certain identities. For me, it is beyond the idea of age, beyond the idea of my gender, beyond the idea of where I come from. I stand here simply as an Indian Police Service officer talking to a group of students who wish to be the change that they must be. Today, whatever job you choose, whatever employment, wherever you are placed, you should be happy. And it's okay, like there are people who go on shifting jobs. There is a sense of job security, which is important, but being stuck in a job where you're not happy is not worth it. Because of course it will affect your mental well-being, but trust me, it will affect your social life, it will affect how you look at family, it will affect a lot of things. So I really hope that whatever you choose today, like wherever you are placed, be placed in a setup where you actually want it. You should belong to a place where you can actually make a difference. There could be some of you who are science graduates and might want to take up photography as a job. It's absolutely okay. I'm sure you're going to excel. There are many of us out here who want to become teachers, who want to become any kind of job profession. A lot of people say, ma'am, you have a background in economics and political science. How was the jump to the Indian Police Service? It is one with challenges, no doubt. It is a one with, the journey has been full of ups and downs, opportunities and threats. But it is something that motivates me every day. It is a job well done for me because every night when I sleep, I close my eyes, I pat myself on the back and I say, Aishwarya, it's a day well done. And that comes because I love where I am. I love the job that I am serving. I'm glad to be part of this setup where I can be the change I wish to see. So I really hope that your sessions and your job, wherever you go, turns out to be something that you've always wanted, something that you've always inspired, and something that will enable you to be the change maker that this country, this state, this world needs to see. So I would like to thank Christ College for having me have this small talk with the students out here. I would encourage if there are 2 or 3 questions, if at all, regarding the service or regarding preparation, if any, or else we can call it a day. If we have any questions regarding civil service preparation or anything, we're free to answer the same.
Madam is in a hurry, so if you want to ask something to her, you just ask her.
I think there's not anyone who's preparing for the civil service over
here. Okay, yes. Come forward.
Hello ma'am, my question is that what was your main idea while preparing for this examination?
What was my name?
Barriers.
So obviously preparing for this examination, as I said, there are a lot of myths, as I said, right? Like a lot of people said my first barrier was fighting my own thought process and what society says. Like, it's not possible in your first attempt. So that was barrier number one. Barrier number two was after clearing this examination, it is an All India Service examination. So being an All India Service officer, we are exposed to a lot of challenges. I come from Maharashtra and posted in Kerala. So it's the barrier with regard to learning a new culture, learning a new language, understanding what the people of the area you're working in. That was obviously a barrier which I feel like I have been able to gradually bridge. Barrier number three was regarding this preparation. People say that you have to study 12 hours. You have to refer to 100 books, right? So I fell into that in the first few months of my preparation. I started, I was putting in 12 hours because somebody said that. 12 hours of study, referring to so many books. But over a period of time, during my entire journey, I realized that it is my own journey for preparation. Even if I'm able to study for 10 hours and give a great output, it's worth it. Instead of 100 books, if I can refer to 30 books, and be able to, study better or revise better, that is helpful for me. So the barrier that I was trying to follow somebody else's path was a big stumbling block in the beginning, but it is something that over a period of time I was gradually able to overcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you have any questions in Malayalam also.
Also, she can answer. Don't worry.
So just to put up.
Yeah, come.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, we are final year students. I am a student of economics. And ma'am, how should we start as aspirants from this level?
Thank you. What's your name?
Parvati.
Thank you, Parvati. So when it comes to preparing after graduation, a lot of people say you should start preparing from your 10th standard, from your 12th standard. You should start preparing whilst you're in college. I do not believe in that because I think school and college is like once in a lifetime thing. You might as well enjoy that to the fullest and then come to preparation for this exam. So after you finish your entire graduation, so I assume you're in your third year, towards the end, like when you're just about to graduate, gradually start developing newspaper reading. Now when I say newspaper reading, it is very important for you to know you cannot read the newspaper like any other generalist. When you are a civil service aspirant, you are a specialist, right? So when I mean that when you're reading the newspaper, you should know what kind of news you should read, what kind of information should you consume, and what should you remove. Like say for example, certain type of government policies, if they are discussed in detail, you should read that in detail. So the most important thing at the beginning when you're starting to prepare is the newspaper reading. Reading as though you are a specialist. So when I say specialist, give some attention. Like when I started reading the newspaper, I used to, like as a generalist, I would probably read it for half an hour, 40 minutes. But when I came to preparing for the civil service examination, it was minimum 3 hours that I would dedicate to reading the newspaper. So that is the difference I'm talking about. The other thing is, since you're saying it's like you're in economics, you're going to be an economics graduate, it is not important for you to choose economics as your subject. Like, I mean, when you are giving this examination, a lot of people say that your graduation subject may be like economics or political science must be your main subject, which is not important. You could choose any subject which you have an interest to. I believe that you have to develop a relationship with that subject because almost for 1.5 to 2 years, you have to retain your interest in that subject. So when you're choosing the subject, it is important that you see past year's question papers, you see the syllabus, see if you're interested. As I said, I have an economics background as well, economics and political science. So I was, swaying, should I choose economics or should I choose political science? Then I pulled up question papers, I pulled up the syllabus, saw what I was interested in, and hence I shifted to political science. That is number 2 in your preparation, in the immediate thing. And number 3 is a lot of people say that you have to go for a particular coaching class, to do or prepare for this examination, which is not always true. It is important to get some guidance, but right now online platforms, there are lots of online platforms like Insights on India, Vision IES, a lot of such courses which are available that you can see online and also study. There are people who do a lot of self-study also and clear this examination. So you have to see, like, do you want to go to Trivandrum to study for this examination? Do you want to go to Delhi? Do you want to go to Hyderabad? You can choose. Or you could choose also to study from home itself. So I think these 2-3 things is what you should actually start with in your preparation, if at all.
One more question. Ma'am, can you share a memorable experience that you felt in coming to the services or an unexpected thing?
Okay, so a number of experiences, to be very honest with you, but an experience that kind of stays with me is in our police training, in our service training, we are exposed to physical training, we are exposed to indoor training like studying law subjects, studying indoor subjects. So considering my background, I was not usually exposed to that much of a physical exertion as demanded by my training. So it was a constant, fight for me, right? Like how to deal with any kind of physical training, how to, do something that I have never done. For example, we used to have 40-kilometer route marches with like a huge backpack, weighing a couple of kgs and a rifle weighing certain kgs. I could not even think in my wildest dreams that I would do that. Forget 40, I would not even think of doing 2 kilometers with it. But it was a challenge. For somebody who was told to run 16 kilometers, I was never okay with running 1 kilometer, forget 16, right? So these kind of challenges were thrown at me, and it was always easy for me to say, like, I can't do it and like that. But training was such that you have to do it. So obviously, full of blood, full of sweat, full of tears, but a journey worthwhile. Because it's a journey that enabled me to challenge myself. Like a lot of our experiences, like initially when I used to think of Tarzan swing. Do you know Tarzan swing? So we used to have Tarzan swing, and for me Tarzan swing was something I've always seen in cartoons, right? I've always seen on TV. Now suddenly to come to your physical training and do that was like, why am I need to do that? But the very idea is to have confidence that I can do it and I have the ability to do it was something I think is an experience. The physical training aspect of this entire training is something which is a beautiful experience because it enabled me to realize that there are a lot of avenues. I'd always put myself in a space that I can't do this. But this training, these experiences enabled me to say that it is possible and I can do it. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Now, we will go for a vote of thanks and inviting Sneha for doing the vote of thanks, please.
Hello everyone, I am here to thank Mrs. Aishwarya, Superintendent of Police, for sharing her valuable time and information with us. Ma'am, you have heard of many of myths that we cannot crack an exam at our first attempt, but you showed us that we really could crack the exam even at the first attempt. You have been a very good inspiration for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. Surely, we will also try and help us to find a job which we really love to do by once again